All right, the recap for the Atlanta Falcons NFL draft. All right, so for me, gonna give you guys my take on what to expect for the Atlanta Falcons. Guys, it's coming out the draft that we drafted, coming out the draft. The first one, all right, let's just get straight to it. Jalon Walker and what to expect from the Atlanta Falcons, using him from this point on. Now, I know Jeff Ulbrich has pretty much stated that what he wants and the plan that he has for Jalon Walker, James Pearce Jr. and whatnot, but let's start for me personally, I think the Falcons should and they are going to use him. And you look at Jalon Walker, he's everything that we've seen in one guy, and I'm talking about Kaden Ellis. Kaden Ellis is one of those guys that we've been able to use in pretty much every facet of the game, defensively, running, as a linebacker, being able to stop the run, a linebacker being able to play in coverage at certain times in certain situations he's been taken advantage of. But when you got a guy like Jalon Walker, man, I think Jalon Walker is exactly what you want Kaden Ellis to be athletically. He's just everything. This dude is an absolute stud in the passing game. This dude is an absolute stud as a edge rusher. He can get after the quarterback and he can get sacks and he can jump and come off the edge with reckless abandonment. And like I said, everything about this guy's game is just absolutely elite. I won't say elite, but it's extremely good. All right, he can do all these. He can have all the phases of the game. And play them well. So Jalon Walker, if you're expecting, trying to figure out what to expect for Jalon Walker, just think Kaden Ellis in a much more athletically gifted manner. You look at a guy like Jalon Walker, he's very well spoken. He's the leader that'll be able to say certain things in the right situation. Even, he can get his teammates behind. Like Jalon Walker is that guy. I saw some comments in regards to Jalon Walker that he sounds like Matt Ryan. And for me personally, you want that, but you also want a guy that's going to be able to, step up and get in your behind. And I think that's the thing with Jalon Walker, man, that you're getting for him. The second one, James Pearce Jr. When you talk about the guy that probably has the most NFL potential in regards to his size, his athleticism, he's the guy that you're looking at that's probably is going to be the most. He has the most potential with his size. The Falcons may want to put 5 to 10 more pounds, probably even a little bit bigger. I wouldn't necessarily go too far as what the size is concerned, but you may want to put 5 to 10 more pounds on him so he can play in the trenches. He has improved as a pass rusher and stopping the run. He has improved with that. So I know a lot of people are wondering if that's going to be one of those instances where the Falcons are going to take a step back in regards to edge guys being a little bit better. And I think James Pearce Jr. this past year, his junior year, he definitely improves as a edge that could be able to contain and stop the run. That's been an aspect of this game. And to be honest, man, like he's one of those guys, he's a freak athlete. Like if you need a quarterback, if you have a quarterback in the instance we saw with the game against not only the Carolina Panthers, but got quarterbacks that were just extending plays with his Atlanta Falcon defense. That's one of the aspects of the game that the Falcons had to improve, is get some athletes on the sides. A guy like Matthew Judon, who is currently a free agent. These guys weren't necessarily great as far as athletes is concerned. But you got a guy like James Pearce Jr., you got an athlete on the edge, and these mobile quarterbacks, when they get outside the pocket, you need them to run. You're gonna need a guy that has the athletics to be able to to stay with these guys. And James Pearce Jr., if you've seen his tape, he can definitely do that. All right. And then you got Xavier Watts. Xavier Watts, for me, you look at this particular guy, the Falcons want to be able to have the freedom to put a safety, not name Jesse Bates at free safety, at strong safety, to be able to move him around. I think this is the guy, if you look at the Atlanta Falcons, that, they got him with the 96 pick. I didn't think he would be able, the Falcons would be able to get him in this situation, but he fits perfectly what the Atlanta Falcons want to do with their secondary. Move these guys around. Like, you can put them, and he has the one thing that I look at what Raheem wants from his DBs, Jerry Gray want for their DB. They want these guys to be able to get turnovers, and nobody in the college game, in my opinion, is better than Xavier. Now, we got some guys that's on the same level. Don't get it twisted, but I think Xavier Watts is one of those guys that you could potentially, if the Falcons ever had any issues with Jesse Bates' contract, Xavier Watts is that guy that they'll be able to plug in and be that free safety, to be that strong safety, to be that playmaker that they need in the secondary to be able to make plays on the ball. Xavier Watts is all-around safety, be able to stop the run here, be able to make plays on the ball, get fumbles. Like, this dude is a turnover machine. He's a ball magnet. So I like what I'm seeing from Xavier Watts in that regard. The next one, Billy Bowman Jr. Now, again, it's one of those instances where I seen in the Minnesota game, you go back to see a guy like Justin Jefferson. One of the things that teams are doing offensively that it has to be addressed. And in this offseason, guys like D. Alford were taken advantage of in certain situations. They were taking advantages in that slot. And like I said, we've seen that embarrassing moment time and time again. He had one horrendous game in D. Alford, and it cost the Atlanta Falcons potentially a spot to go to the playoffs. So these are the aspects in which these offensive coordinators, they putting a number one receiver, they putting a number two receivers in that slot position. So no longer as a defensive coach can you ignore the slot position. And a guy like Billy Bowman Jr., again, he's a lot like Xavier Watts. He's a lot like Jesse Bates. These guys, you want these guys close to the line of scrimmage so they can make these plays. But Billy Bowman, like I said, saw the interview with Jerry Gray, and Jerry Gray said the exact same thing. You want the freedom and the ability to put these defensive backs around the ball. You can play them at free safety. You can play them at strong safety. And Billy Bowman Jr. is one of those guys that has experience in playing them any and everywhere. And that right there, when you can put these guys, the Xavier Watts, the Bowman Jr., like all these guys in positions where you can make the necessary adjustments in case of an injury of a guy like Jesse Bates. You can put these guys at safety. You can put them at free safety, strong safety, put them in the slot, inside, right side, left side. You can do all these types of things. So you gotta have the ability to adjust. And I think having these guys, the Watts and the Billy Bowman, the Falcons have that. All right. And the last one, Jack Nelson, just a beast. All right, he gave up one sack. I'm talking about one sack a year. So this dude is a stud, and he's a physical specimen. He's a physical specimen. And with the Atlanta Falcons at this particular time, if they can continue to develop their own offensive tackle, a guy like Jack Nelson, I think he goes by 6'5", 300 and about 15, 20 pounds or so. He has the size. He says that he plays a little bit better on the right side of the field, so he may be going there. But like I said, at the end of the day, man, this Atlanta Falcons, I thought the Atlanta Falcons draft was pretty freaking good. But let me know what you guys think about that. Again, Jalon Walker, you want a comparison? He's a lot like Kaden Ellis, Pearce Jr. in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of a more obviously he has the physical traits and the guy. You just look at it, he just got an NFL body as an edge guy. He's a perfect design as an edge guy. So he is what we wanted a guy like Vic Beasley to be, but he has that NFL body. So for me personally, I think you look at Johnny Abraham, you look at Vic Beasley, these guys have the athleticism on the edge. Like Pearce Jr. has that athleticism on that edge for the Atlanta Falcons. And Watts, again, just think Jesse Bates, be able to move him around. Same thing with Bowman Jr. And then Nelson. Look, they want another Caleb McGarry because at some point in time, the Atlanta Falcons are going to have to talk about replacing Caleb McGarry or perhaps even a Jake Matthews. But let me know what you guys think about this. This has been your boy Mad Mike with a draft recap. And if you enjoyed it, check out the playlist. It's going to be in the comment section with 6-Man K-Styles and Jew Talk Sports. Stay tuned tonight at 6 o'clock. For what? The Originators, all right? 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. tonight.